Cherry Blossom is the brand new album from The Vamps, and I am happy to have Brad Simpson of the band join us. Brad, hello.
Hey man, how are you?
I'm very good. Let's get through the usual small talk. How are you? Where are you? And gosh, what a vibe you have going on here.
Come on, okay. I feel like we should give them the backstory to this in advance. But I came on, so people who are watching, I came on this Zoom, and as you can see, Pete has an incredible Zoom background. His Zoom game is very, very strong, and I was sat here. I'm moving flat, so I'm in London. In answer to your first question, I had boxes here, so I had to move them, and I've put this candle on just to kind of try and show that I'm adding some vibes to the interview. So that is why there's a weird candle.
A weird candle and an empty coat rack right behind you as well of some sort.
Yeah, that's not even a coat rack. That's a drying rack because my tumble dryer is terrible. That is how you are really getting the behind the scenes here of my living situation.
I love these Zoom interviews that we're doing right now because we really get an inside look in how everybody is living their true selves. And this is how you live normally, with a candle to read your books and what have you.
I sit here with maybe a glass of whiskey or wine or just water to stay hydrated, and I just read.
Waiting for your laundry to dry.
I actually wait and watch it dry. Yeah, nearly there. Oh. Not quite yet. I've got a lot of spare time on my hands, Pete.
Obviously, you know, I got to appreciate what you have done, by the way, with your appearance. I know how much care you guys take into your outward appearance. And so this outfit does not surprise me. I was thinking through my wardrobe, right? Should I go for the usual t-shirt? What should I wear for this interview? And this is all I came up with. And look at you in your fall vibes.
No, you look sick, dude. I love the shirts. So cool. Really, really cool. Thank you, man. That's very kind, yeah.
You just said that you're moving flats. And off camera, you were talking about how in the middle of a pandemic, you're doing this. Why are you doing this? And is this an upgrade? Is this because of all this cherry blossom money that you've stumbled upon?
Well, you see, the thing is, Pete, I'm moving flats at the moment. And, oh, sorry. No, I'm moving in with Tristan. We lived together for a little bit of time. And then I moved out. I've lived in this flat that I've been in for a year. And I really, really enjoyed it. But we just decided to kind of like move back in together because we missed each other. And yeah, it's just been moving back in. It's fun. And I think we wrote a lot of the big steps on the albums were made when we were living together. So I think it's kind of cool to be together when we want to think of next steps, and it's a really fun environment. So yeah, that's the plan, dude.
By the way, I got a note that you turned 25 this year, back in July.
Yeah,
quite a milestone, man. I remember when I turned 25, and how did you approach it? Were you excited?
When was that? Last year, Pete? Last year, a couple of years
It was actually a few months right before you.
Aha! Oh my god.
How did you approach it?
It was weird. It was really, really weird. I think it's been a really, really strange, amazing journey that we've had as a band. But a lot of things that happened to us so young. You know what I mean? We were doing our first tour so young and putting our first album out. I think I just turned 18. So a lot of these things happened before I was 20, before I was 20 or before I was 19. So it's kind of all of this weird life experience crammed into 2 years. So I feel like getting to 25 and having spent 7 years touring, 6 years touring and kind of doing the band, it's a bit of a strange thing, but I feel energized to kind of pursue and create new things with the band, and just kind of this is our 5th album now, and I weirdly feel more energized, and I think we all feel more energized than we have throughout our in a long time, and throughout our career. We're at a point where we've got a load of energy and loads of positivity moving forward, which is quite strange because I think some people would be like, you've done 7 years and you've toured since 18 to 25. Surely you want to have a bit more of a chill, but we're ready to go.
It's interesting to hear you say that. What do you think the difference in terms of the approach of your music's writing as well as approach to life has changed from 18 to 25? I know it's a big jump and a big question, but I feel like as a songwriter, you're able to kind of compartmentalize those feelings, those snapshots of your life. Every song that you write is capturing a few moments of that feeling that you're trying to get out.
100%. You're right. You listen back to songs or albums, and you're like, oh, that was that year and a half of my life, and it does wrap it all up, and all the memories are kind of, especially because you tour those songs as well. So you like spend 6 months writing an album, and then you tour the same song. So there's all these memories associated with songs and albums for us, which is very strange. But I'd say like the first 5 years, going from 18 to 25, I was just, and all four of us were just learning. And like we were in a position where we were working with some of the best songwriters and producers that we could have. It's like the best music school that you could have asked to go to. So it was about taking a back seat and going, right, I'm going to get my notepad and pen out and just like learn from the best and watch how they do it, watch their process, and like then go back to the hotel room at night and like get better at logic and get better at production and like try and improve every year on year and like after session and just continually try and grow. And I think get into this album especially, I felt has been a real culmination of all of those years of like education and learning. I feel like we've really put all of that into this album, and we are immensely proud of it, and I'm immensely proud of the songwriting and the production on this album because of all of those years that we kind of took a back seat and we're like, okay, it feels like we've waited for this moment for quite a long time.
You know, a lot of these songs on this album obviously revolve around the different aspects of a relationship. At least that's my interpretation, the ups and downs, right? In one song, you're in love, and the next one, she's walking away. You're like, yeah, go away. I don't want you anyway. How do you approach the songwriting process, especially as you've gotten older? Because obviously songwriters have talked about how it's therapeutic, how they're able to become vulnerable, and this is their outlet. It's always interesting to me because that's a person's way of expressing themselves that they can't normally say in person. Mm-hmm. So how much of that do you try to balance, and how verbal are you with expressing your feelings?
I think we're all pretty, like, as people, we're very open and honest. I can tend to be I'm a very positive person, and I'm like I try and put as positive and optimistic a slant on everything as possible. And I think in terms of negativity, I've always been one who I don't try and dwell in it. I try and like the songs like Better, which is kind of about that. That's very much like my mindset for things. Is like if I get in a bad place about something, I always try and will myself out of it and go like, come on, you can push yourself out of it. And I think I've like been very fortunate with the people I've had around me in my life who have kind of helped do that and instill that in me. And I think all the other boys are as well. So we luckily have that outlet outside of songwriting, but I think songwriting is just it's like a deep dive. It's like you can really, really understand your emotions a bit more.
How do you guys approach the collaborative process then in that case? Because so many people in a room, one guy's feeling one way, the other guy feels another. How did you come? You've been working together for so long, known each other for so long. I'm sure it's easy now, but coming to that compromise has got to be tough.
I mean, we just mess around basically, but the majority of the time we're just kind of having fun in a room. But we're very lucky. Again, those were the boys are the people that I was speaking about, as well as a few others that we're lucky. We've got a very open relationship and friendship, and everyone feels very safe with each other, which is feel very blessed to have. And there's a good communication level within the band. So I think no one feels like they have to bottle things up or they can't say anything. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing, is about creating an environment where anyone feels like they can speak.
If you could help share some words of wisdom as a 25-year-old man now, and a candle next to you as we conclude.
Thank you, Pete. Um, I wish you well, not only Pete, but the viewers. And I look forward to meeting you in person. I will bring you a sweater,
Oh gosh.
patterned, durable fabric, so you can wear it throughout the year. Um, and really, a big thank you to anyone who does make sweaters because you're doing the great work. Anyway, thank you for the great chat, Pete. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to put the candle down now because that's a fire hazard. But
By the way, that's a
I
real
don't really know
candle,
where I'm
lest
going with this.
anybody think otherwise. That's not some
Yeah,
battery-powered candle. That's an actual candle. I saw him light it up with a gas lighter.
I do all my own stunts. So yeah, pretty
Congrats on the
crazy. Thank you,
album.
dude. Thanks,
I
man.
really appreciate your time. It's Brad from The Vamps.